Okay, yeah, I'll talk about the prices and the marketplace here for a little bit. And then, of course, what I expect as we move into, January of next year. Hard to believe we're talking about that already. Today is November the 25th, and prices. Okay, so the average price right now, the benchmark price for all properties, for townhomes, condos, and houses combined, is $1,132,000. This price is down year over year 3.4%. Actually, prices are down in all property types year over year between 3.5% and 5%. When we break that down a little bit further, because that was the average for all property styles, and we look at condos, for example, the average price for a condo as of today, end of November, is $718,000. And this price is down 5% year over year over the last 12 months. The average price as of today for a detached property is for a house is $1,916,000. And this price is down 4.3%. And then the average price as of today for a townhome in today's market is $1,066,000, so $1,066,000, and this price is down over the last 12 months, year over year, 3.8%. It is definitely a buyer's market in almost every neighborhood and area out there. There are some areas that are performing extremely well and properties that are still selling within a few weeks. But overall, the market conditions are balanced, and it's a buyer's market, and conditions are absolutely favoring the buyers. The headline reads, "Slow sales and high inventory give buyers the edge in October." And that's what we've been seeing over the last few months, because inventory is higher and sales are slower. So the Greater Vancouver REALTORS reports that residential sales, they were almost 14.5% lower than sales this time last year. So that's a significant number. Sales are slower. And then when we look at the total number of new listings as of today, there's about 16,500 listings right now available for sale on MLS, on Paragon, on Realtor.ca. This is a huge increase, from where we were a couple of years ago. For example, last year, there were less than 14,500 listings available for sale. So when we look back over the 10-year sales average, we're talking about a 35% increase in new listings. It's all about the sales and the speed of the sales compared to the number of listings on the marketplace. That's how and where. And what we talk about the most is sales ratio, and why that's so important, because it all depends on how many properties are available. That equals your negotiating power. When we look at the sales ratio across all segments, the sales to active listings ratio right now is 14.2%. The inventory levels peaked in June, so just before the summer, and prices have eased. They've come down a little bit since then in all areas in Greater Vancouver, and it's been slower than usual for the sales activity, which is what we're talking about. The October month is typically the last month of the year where sales activity sees a seasonal uptick, but sales still fell short of last year's figure and the 10-year seasonal sales average. So even this fourth cut in the mortgage rates that happened a couple of weeks ago, it wasn't quite enough to entice more buyers to the market. But having said that, there are still properties that are selling in multiple offers and, selling over asking. I've been involved in a couple of very successful outcome scenarios over the last month, but some properties are still selling, within a very short period of time. And if you are priced well, if you've got solid, excellent representation on your side, of course, being the realtor, and you can negotiate strongly on your client's behalf, it can be a very successful outcome, for both parties. I've got a couple of great listings on the market right now, and I'm working with some fabulous buyers on purchases on properties that, we have come across, and we're able to negotiate, in the purchaser's favor, because, whether or not, if you can eliminate a couple of subjects on your offer and you can use that to your advantage, we can really help negotiate, a fabulous offer for you. And that is what we're seeing right now, opportunities galore everywhere. So anyhow, if you're a seller and you're thinking of going to the marketplace over the next month and a half, it really depends on your personal circumstances at this time of the year. If you have to sell and you need to be sold in the next 2 to 3 months, then yes, there are lots of great tips that I can help you with in getting your home ready for sale, during the holidays. And, we can discuss showing schedule and how that all works over the Christmas season coming up. But if you don't have to sell and you'd like to discuss the pros and the cons to listing, in the second or the third week in January, that's a great plan too. And there's strategic plan for each individual property. After the holidays, we do usually see a surge in new listings, but whether it's the third or the fourth week of January, if the property is ready and if it's ready and if it can be shown easily, then, that third week is probably the best week in January. But it's all about timing and motivation. And of course, we'll look at the inventory in the building and in the neighborhood as well and talk about all of that. But regardless, there's, the right time to sell is when it's right for you and your family. And as I mentioned in the beginning, if you want to talk about renovations, whether that be new countertops or painting the cabinets or new flooring, engineered versus, laminate or wide plank, different kind, or if you want to talk about closing costs, there are closing costs to be aware of. It's so important to have, a trusted, experienced real estate agent on your side. And I would be more than happy to chat about whatever your particular needs are if you need any advice. Okay, reach out anytime. Erica Rendell, thanks for listening. Bye.